My name is His Royal Majesty Igwe Samuel Ikechukwu Asadu, Igwe of EDEM Igwe Kingdom, and NSUKKA local government area, Enugu State. The chairman, Enugu State Traditional Rulers Council. The immediate past chairman, Southeast Traditional Rulers Council. And member, Board of Trustees, Council of Traditional Leaders of Africa, Nigerian chapter. And most of those things are something we came up and saw. So, but you know, like I always say, change is constant. We have to begin to adapt to changes, and these things are changing. And it may interest you to know that this is very intriguing at this particular point in time where you asked me that kind of question, and I happen to be a king who is very widely exposed. And I just came back from Lagos where I attended a seminar organized by United Nations and the Ford Foundation with the Minister of Gender Affairs in the whole of Nigeria and Traditional Rulers Council in Abuja, where we, the COTLA members, what I mean by COTLA is Council of Traditional Leaders of Africa. Our main purpose is to counter and improve on and refuse and terminate gender-based violences, which I'm a spokesman for. That's why I'm BOT member of those, because I've seen the intangible. I've seen that everybody's created equal, even from my own personal lifestyle, life, like ways. So I've seen it. And again, being a nurse, I've been a nurse for 38 years. So I schooled mostly women all around me. So you're going to know that I'm going to be an advocate of women. And I stayed in America for 30 years. So I knew what it means to work with all genders, that even the stereotype is no longer necessary. So our job is, if you know those cultures that are harmful, please abolish them. I have communiques I'm needed to issue. I was taking my chief of staff. I write the governor about my visit from there. I stayed there in February 1st to February 4th. You know, we came from Lagos. So we stayed there. It was attended by all African countries except North Africa. We all there, all the NGOs, Nigeria, they were all there for a very glamorous event. If I show you the reception they gave me in Lagos, Radisson Hotel Blue in Ikeja, you will be surprised. A lot of kings, all of us are there. Dino Fagbo, Emir of Kano, Sanusi, all of us were the Obi of Onitsha. The first class kings are there. So it's just like in Sierra Leone, just like from Liberia, from Zambia, from Kenya, from Equatorial Guinea, they're all there. And what are we talking about? The education was to highlight on the importance of these things. These are what our ancestors handed over to. And if you think there are certain things we need to do, we had a communique. A lot of professors spoke to us. Okay. The Ford Foundation president was there. Both the regional and southeast. So, and we happened to, liaise with them. I will be in New York again in March. Talk about the same case. Wow. Like I said, I'm widely traveled. If they call me in Abuja, I'm going to speak because I want to change intangibles. Those things that are, if we know what we can do to appease the spirit, and this happens. Your own question is just, on empowerment and education and taking the lead. I'm taking it even further. The reasons why they're not because of the abuse of the culture we do, and then not being able to harmonize the culture so that it will have a human face and make of human kindness. So you're saying there's a spiritual undertone to it because you said something about that's why we're traditional. We cannot just no, you cannot, because a lot of things is involved, man. A lot of things, and you can't doubt that. Because let me tell you something. What happens on earth is this: 51% ancestors, 49% human beings. Whatever you want to do, let it be on record. I said that. Whatever you want to do on this earth, whether you want to get married or want to have children, if the ancestors say no, you're not married, no, you're not having children, you're not going to have it. Wow. So we call them gods, and that God is the Almighty God. That's what we believe in. So you know that if God don't want you to pass this exam, it doesn't matter if you're a class A guy or a first class guy, you're going to fail the exam. If God don't want you to wake up tomorrow morning, if they don't want you to wake, if they call you, they call you. So those land and those, even some practices that female gender mutilation. It has no scientific rationale. The ancestors are against that. Why do you circumcise a female? So those are the things that we find out. Okay, we can say, okay, God, even though there's a practice, the day they're going to be circumcised, there's somewhere we can drink, pour some libation on the ground, like palmy wine, that's or cola nut. We can do the libation and forget doing the circumcision. Okay. Do you understand? So that's you have to talk to. You have to. That's why I hold you up for to speak to the truth, to be firm, and to realize that there are forces controlling this life. You can't just say, "Oh, I ban this." Oh, you don't want to. Remember when they were killing twins? You can just say, "Oh, just kill twins." People went on research. How do I appease those people that? Because they made promises. I give you an example. my community, with the day I was trying to tar the road for my community. Daughter's birthday, June 29th. I came there, the whole truck that came to do the landscaping and do whatever they need to do to the road. All of them drove from NSUKKA University Town and came down to my village, which is 5 minutes from there. By the time everybody, the engineers were ready, every material is ready to start, the whole machine will refuse to start. The whole machines refused to start. The 6 of them, none of them could start. I said, we just drove there. Everybody was okay. Everybody tried the mechanic, nothing. Do you know why? Because in the old days when there was civil war, my people swore that they don't want the invaders to enter our place. So they did it. A lot of incantations and promised God. We don't want development. We don't want anything to come. So it was me that brought development to that place. That's why if you go to my place, then I say, oh, this is the truth. This is the problem. Because I'm the king, I said, I didn't contest for king with anybody. So God, you want me to be the king of this place. Help me, things has changed, please. I knelt down, use drinks, use all kinds of bitter cola to invoke the spirit of the ancestors. And about 200 people were watching me. I was going like I was going crazy because the power got into me. And after I finished that prayer, I said, start the vehicles. All of them started at the same time. And you know what? My people put a statue of me. And I was the one that broke the chains because of maybe, just maybe, the ancestors chose me, and then I was clean. That they say, hey, this is a guy who can go to, he can hold this community in peace. He can hold them for progress. He can hold them for love. He can hold them for happiness. He can hold them for improvement. So those are the values that I talk about, so that when you talk about appeasing the other people. So none of these things will happen without negotiations. Remember, everything starts with a change. Now we're talking about inclusion, a women representation in parliament. So we're talking about constitutional change, 1999 constitution. We're trying to address it so that the women could occupy some positions in power. But you guys have the voting powers, have the numerical strength, have the power. You guys are hold the home together and hold the children together. We know that. So now it's time for us to say, okay, put into legislation, so that women can say, okay, if we're in the House of Assembly, if there's 110 people, let there be 4 women at least. You know the law I'm talking about.
We already have the reserved seats bill, yes, that we're trying to
thank you, the reserved seat. That's one. That's what I'm saying. Anything is possible now. So because everybody's getting their way. But I'm glad that you are even piggybacking on, we have to start negotiations, roundtable conference. What is it that, what happens if a husband leaves land for his wife and of course the children? Maybe the wife didn't have a male child. Of course, they begin to tackle her. So okay, no, those ones are now being changed because they will let the wives live in that land. But the Supreme Court judgment, you see, legally, it's really illegal to say that you can't divide things for your girls. For me, I have 2 girls and 2 boys, and I started by branding my girls, giving them brand name. Whatever business I had, I started with my girl's name. I own Nico's Place Limited Hotel. My daughter's name is Nico. Yes, and also one in UN and one there. You know, so they're not doing well, but the hotel is not doing well, but they're doing well. I'm happy that I own them because I put some money in there. And I had a farm, I had a water factory, and named after my second daughter. So those things to give them the status quo, to give them that they can, of course, they can be the best. And I didn't give my boys anything. I didn't brand it, but I know they inherit some things too. And again, the few things I have, especially in America, don't remember everybody's equal. I divide everything to everybody. So this is your own, this is your own. I may give my daughter even more because they are the one that may not fall in love easy to throw my thing away. But my boys can fall in love and sell everything I have and come back and say, Dad, man, I just got hooked up. So, but the girls will remember to bring back to take care of me, and that's the way I'm wired. So it gives them the status quo. But my sister, like I said, I may not have a depth knowledge of that inheritance I'm talking about. That this is where it started. It started from ab initio, from the Igbo origin, from our ancestors. It's passed on from generation to generation. They say, don't do this. And again, it's the fear of the unknown. Some people have actually died those things and they have had consequences. Some people have actually died those things, that they say this and they become blind. They do this and they have this thing. So we don't have a scientific proof to say that it's them doing that or what. So nobody, if you look, somebody like me that came on the throne, I feel that I have the powers and I have the knowledge, have the exposure to really analyze things before. And again, carrying people along. Never you neglect anybody. Those women, bring them to the table. For me, I have PG as a woman, I have cabinet members with me. Inclusion, because I need them, because their values are very important. People like me, my girlfriend made me successful. So because of the things she was telling me. So I never, when I was growing up, so I knew when I was a teenager, I was paying attention. So she was encouraging me. Oh, money will look good on you. You're a good person. Okay. Even when I tell her, I ended up not marrying her, but I said this. She said, no, do this, and do this. That you're a good person. I said, what is that? I said, how do I make money? She said, just wait. I didn't know she saw this coming. She saw it, and I wasn't feeling it. So, and then now that I'm able to feed myself, I'm beginning to say, okay, hey, she saw it, and when I analyzed everything, I found out she was actually telling me, and I tell the youths, please, when you see girls or friends or whatever, don't abuse them. Use the good part of them. So that's what I preach about. So not that because you can confuse 10 of them and you think you're smart. So those things will come back to hurt you because you have to be real to people. You have to be very, very human to them. And this lady was able to see in me what nobody else seen in me. I had a low self-esteem then. She was telling me, no, money will look good on you. You're a good person. See your responsibility. See your brothers and sisters. You need to help them. I was like, how? I'm just a nurse working the hospital. How can I say, no, push? And she pushed me down. With that knowledge, I went overseas.
The power of a woman.
And I stayed 10 years. I didn't come back here. The rest is history.
Wow, the power of a woman.
So she did that. So I cannot. My girls gave me good luck. So they came first before my. Somebody like me, I had 2 girls first before I had 2 boys. So okay, because of the way I treated my girls, as queen and princesses they are now. They were not princesses then, but now I told them I'm making them princesses, and I made them. So I was one unique story, but I worked hard for every story that I told you. That's why I had intangible. That's why I have the power I have the mind to speak and teach people. So now I came back from those lectures I'm attending. I come back, I write to the governor, I call other kings, I say, what can we do? The Land Use Act, like you're talking about the land. So what is wrong with a woman having the land somewhere there? So they can have the one in Enugu, they don't have to have the one in the demand. Just those are the things. So we start from there. Yeah, thank you so much, my sister, for that question. Nobody's perfect, but I did my best, and I was a game changer. Like I said, most of the things I did, I was #1. Everything I did, whether I was in primary schools, secondary school, when I was in nursing school, I was the best graduate student. Everywhere I went, I was a supervisor. I was the boss. Now I'm still the boss. So I'm the first child of my family. Everything I did, I was #1. So even in my own environment in America, when I had them in Texas, Dallas, Texas, I still showed people. That particular, they were saying that, oh, no wonder it's time for you to have boys. Because I asked God for 3 boys. That's what I prayed for when I was going to marriage. And God said, look at you, you're a chicken. I'll give you the best, let me see. And they see everybody knows, all the password I have in my life has my daughter's name. I don't even remember my boys. But I know the boys are already made because they're my kids. I give them momentum, I give them the tangibles. They didn't do well, it's not going to be my fault, of course. Because I give them what they needed to do. But they're doing well. So I'm proud of them, and that's what I encourage fathers to please look into the girl child. My mother put me through nursing, and then I became successful with it because I listened to my mother. Then I listened to my girlfriend, and she said, okay, I listened to those things. Then my wife came in, helped me the more she could, the more she knew, she did that. And other friends, because I said I was a nurse, when I went to nursing school, we were 30 in number. I was the only son. I was the only person male among 29 girls. So we stayed 5 or 6 years that way. So I know what it means to be by yourself that way. So it's unfortunate that I know a lot of things has happened. So now I'm encouraging, and young ones are learning from me. That's why I'm talking. This is why I'm talking, because I see that people are learning from me. People are, despite my imperfections, they're still learning from me because I've given that as an example. Most fathers now say, give them something. Like I said, I put my daughter as a brand on the hotel. So now people say, oh, you're a brand already. Then you come and become a princess already. So those are a few success stories. She has nothing else to do but to be good. Because the society looking up to her, say, you are getting this daughter, yeah. And you all this, so now she's overwhelmed that she can't even know how to come out of the door because she says, oh, everybody's looking at me. What am I? And she, so my job as a father is to continue to encourage her. So I encourage all fathers to continue to encourage their daughters. Good things come out from our ladies because all of us came from women. So we cannot say, and again, I like that men and their mothers are very close and women and their fathers are very close. So we need to eulogize that, take one baby steps at a time. Maybe we follow the Supreme Court law in Nigeria now to say, okay, you can have assets, but maybe not that inheriting the fathers where the father lived, unless they don't have a son. You know what I'm saying? So people don't have to do extra things to get a son. But again, be that as may, we're doing well, we're starting the progress.
But you're saying that discussion is on the table.
It's on the table.
Right?
Like
around
I said,
the inheritance.
Yeah, I just want the government to approve for me to call the kings and give them the communique. We should a 12-point communique.
Okay.
We will sign to the Fourth Foundation of United Nations that these African kings, because you find out some of the area have women kings. You saw them, my own guy. Some of them have women kings actually. It's just that the Igbo culture don't take into that consideration. But they have women kings in some other countries in this sub-Saharan Africa, East Africa.
Okay.
Have women like Ghana. So they answer Her Royal Highness and she's the king. That's what I'm talking about. We need to understand negotiations. Those ones like people dying and they blame the woman and they say you must drink the body of the. Oh, we talked about it in Lagos. Like I told you, everywhere we go, we talk about it. So those are harmful practices. Those are harmful. When you watch somebody who has already died, you use the bath water, tell the woman we suspect that you killed him, you must drink it. Think of the disease. Whatever disease that killed the man is going to be infected on the lady again. And if she dies, they're going to say, hey, she killed the man. Again, it was the virus that killed the man, or maybe a bacteria that killed the man. So you can see the scientific proof. I just proved it to you that is a harmful practice.
Yes.
So we cannot. Nobody can ever. In my kingdom, I already abolished that. Or I already signed an abolition. So we need to start these negotiations, proving to them that if they drink that and die, that doesn't mean they're criminals. That doesn't mean they're the one that caused the manslaughter or murder or killed the person that died. But the virus has killed her. Exactly. So it's obvious. And you know, some of the people die from, these communicable diseases. Anything can happen. There's Lassa fever, the one by rats, the one by the snake, the one by that, reptiles. Something cross their food or something, you die. And it doesn't, people heart attacks. Anything can kill a man, of course. So they after they put in the mortuary, they come out and say, let me wash the body and then you drink it. Those ones are really spiritual, okay? If she didn't be a child, there's alternatives.
So she should not be blamed. The woman should not be the
scientifically can be proven.
Proven
now. So she, of course, now that's why women are getting more education than men. You take them to labs and do your accounts. The blood work is obvious. So I don't want to mention specifics, but you find out if we have this. If there are solutions, you do that. Again, remember, God does not bless everybody with everything. People don't have to have kids. So just understand that on the side I say that. So they blame, and again, the guys are educated too. They know, okay, I have problem with my count. I have problem with I drank too much when I was a teenager, so I don't do anything more than what I should do now. Okay. So be that as may, there's more education in school than sex education is being taught in school. So it needs to be introduced. Okay. Parents need to be discussed with their children when they become teenagers. Bring them to the table. This is what happens. Speak your own mind. Like you said, inclusivity. Give them a voice. Give the girl child a voice, that these things doesn't affect them. Okay. Thank you for that question.
Okay.
Service. If we see you, if you emerge from your community and become a service-oriented woman, the whole world will see you. The people will see you. When you say you want to serve as a town union executive, they will know you bring the tangible. You're not mean on the little children. And they don't see you knocking on their head where you are going. They don't see you slapping the old people. When you see them on the road, you stand up for them, they sit down. The society will bless you. The land will bless you. Your presence, unity among all of you. Women are known to dislike each other for no reason. Working together. So the unity has to start from somewhere. Start from home. Love your sister. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Form a team. Deal with your brothers very well, like you love them.
Just like the Godsey Woman Network, we have a team.
A team. So exactly. So I encourage your network for even adding prayers to it, God to it, the value system. Let us go back. The value that has a better gift is honor your father and mother, so your days will be long. Those things have not changed. The commandments of God has not changed. It's still 10. It hasn't increased to 10. It hasn't been changed. The ginseng, the WhatsApp, the millennium means nothing because God is still the same. Has not changed none of the commandments. So we can do all this AI, robotics, fine, but God has not added one commandment. All of this things we are doing is still under the 10 commandments. If you go back, that's why I like the EDEM people answer the prayers, and so you add value to it. Because if you show up that you want to be a vice chancellor, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a traditional ruler, you want to be a chief in the community, your behavior will show off. But not when you are the slave queen, you're just all the time online, cussing people out. They're not going to give you anything. So it's how you make your bed, you lay on it, man. That's what I would say. Schools, one. That's number one. Schools. Secondly, churches. Those are the people where you see women, and again, online. You know, online. That's everybody's now getting online for one social media or thing or the other. Then again, traditional, coming to traditionalists and carrying them along so they can carry their subjects, because most of them trust their traditional what they say. Like if you come to them and if I say something, if I sneeze, they watch my body language. That's what they say. So okay, this guy is different. This guy is if we do this, we get away. So it's a good thing that you guys begin to talk about this. But it's no longer much about talking. It's much about doing. So Nigerians are happy to have a seminar every time, talking. After they do the seminar in one place, everybody leave and the whole thing becomes. So if it's not somebody like our governor who is very pragmatic, who is very job oriented, who wants to prove that you can do this and do this and do this at the same time, then I'm sure he's not attending all seminars every day. So we are a seminar country. People that want to work, they have factories, employ people so that they can be busy. That's why people are busy revitalizing all this moribund project. Now he's hiring for smart schools. We need people that are smart that are teaching the schools. 260 smart schools in Enugu State. Who will manage them? It's still our citizens. When they are busy, then everybody will feel valued. Everybody will feel intentional. Everybody will feel connected. Everybody will see. But you can see joblessness creates, devil's workshop. So I would say that it's more of school, churches, online, traditional rulers, and then gatherings. So just gatherings. Where you have gatherings. So,
that is where we should.
But we should reduce much of talking. More of exemplary, doing what we're supposed to do, and adding it up together. Better society, and we'll do our best and leave the rest for God. The little girls should honor their father and their mother. And again, love one another. Love one another, what I mean by when you begin to help the sick, when you begin to respect each other, when you begin to see, if you see an old woman in the bus, stand up for her, don't think you're a slave queen, you don't want to get up. Those are the times God are watching you to put you in a position to win. There are a lot of ways to be successful. You said one sentence, let me just stop. But the most thing is this, for them to, hey, love one another, when you begin to help your next door neighbor. Help you, because God works in a miraculous way. He helps who, he blesses who he wants to bless. It's not contestable. So that's my message to the young girls, to appreciate one another and know that their attitude, their image counts, their mental health counts, their support to the system counts. There's always room for improvement. There's room for negotiations. You don't have to be in an abusive relationship, of course. If you don't don't go materialistic all the time. So just take your steps. God to show you what He made you for, because God created us for a purpose. All of us are not going to be king or nurse like I am. Some of us will be wrestlers, some of them will be boxers, some of them will be artisans, people, traders and businessmen, or scholars, even professors. Of course, they've done well, both in the law and the medicine. So that's what I'm going in the literal world. So I'm going to say that. I'm encouraging the citizens of Nigeria and the whole world, whether you're home or abroad, is to watch the Gospel Woman Network on YouTube or online and see what they say. Once they contribute to the society to make it better, that's what we're here for, and that's what I'm encouraged to have them here to speak out, because I'm somebody who has the ability to speak on the intangibles. So that's why I talk to them. So go watch them on YouTube channel and then follow them and put likes and comment on them, give them the moral attitude to see what they're not getting it right. Tell them, please. So that's good.